Are naps good or bad? Yes, it depends. I know therapists are notorious for answering every question with "it depends," but there is nuance when it comes to naps. Some people need naps, some people should avoid naps. So, hey there, Jessica here. I'm a licensed therapist in Austin who specializes in sleep issues. The issue of naps comes up a lot in my work, so I'm going to share with you guys the same guidance that I share with all of my sleep clients. So, a lot of the guidance really comes down to this: nap for sleepiness, not sleep. So, let me break down what I mean by that. Sleepiness is a high likelihood that you're going to fall asleep. Sleepiness is eyelids are heavy, head is bobbing forward, lapses in concentration, like you're literally about to fall asleep. That's sleepiness. It's good to take a nap if you are sleepy, because the nap will burn off some of that sleepiness and help you get through the rest of the day. In fact, naps are recommended for people with a couple of different sleep disorders. One is narcolepsy. The other is a shift work disorder. So narcolepsy, for people with narcolepsy, the recommendation is, instead of having one long day, if you have narcolepsy, you have 3 little days with short naps interspersed in between. So you have a morning chunk and then a 20-minute nap, afternoon chunk, 20-minute nap, evening chunk, and then your sleep for the night. And then shift workers, what's recommended for people who do shift work are short naps, either just before their shift or right at the start of their shift if they can swing it. So a couple of different situations where naps are like recommended, part of the treatment, part of how you work with it. Do not take a nap if you are tired. Tired is different from sleepy. You can 100% be tired without being sleepy. That's insomnia. It's tired without being sleepy. Most people with insomnia are not sleepy. They're not they're not falling asleep. They're tired but wired. Tired is fatigued, low energy, dragon ass, irritable. That's tired. Have you ever wondered why you're so unbelievably tired, yet you're not falling asleep? Because you're not sleepy. You're tired. And those are different things. Those are 2 different messages that your body is sending you, and they mean 2 different things. So sleepy is telling you, go to sleep. Tired could be telling you to take a break, or it could be telling you to get more active. So a nap is not going to help you if you're tired but not sleepy. So if you are tired without being sleepy, I recommend taking a break from whatever you're doing and getting up and moving around a little bit and seeing what that does. I'm going to link a video. I did a short video kind of breaking down the difference between tired and sleepy and going into a little bit more detail. So I'm going to link that above. I also don't advise taking a nap for the purposes of catching up on last night's sleep. Last night is done. We cannot go back in time and change it or make it better. A nap today is just going to work against whatever sleep drive is building up that would help you sleep the following night. So it's kind of like rolling a bunch of negative equity from your previous car into your next car. Like you kind of just get farther and farther behind. So I mentioned the sleep drive. Let me explain that a little bit more. Your body has a homeostatic drive for sleep, very similar to the drives that we have for food and water. The longer you go without sleep, the stronger the drive for it. And a stronger sleep drive is going to equal better sleep, maybe more sleep, but for sure better sleep. To understand the biology of the sleep drive, I really need to explain a thing called adenosine. So I was familiar with adenosine. I was aware that it's involved in the sleep drive. I know it's the thing that builds up throughout the day that makes you sleepy. But for this video, I really wanted like a clear and accurate definition. So I Googled adenosine and I came up with this is the first thing that I got. Adenosine is an endogenous purine nucleoside and an anti-arrhythmic drug used to rapidly convert supraventricular tachycardia to normal sinus rhythm. And I was like, I can't use that definition. I don't know what half of those words mean. I know what some of them mean, but I was like, that's not helpful for me. So then I Googled explain adenosine like I'm dumb. Not because I think I'm dumb, but I was just like, I need a more accessible definition to this. And this is what I got. So adenosine is a chemical that your body makes to tell you to slow down and go to sleep. So you can really think of it as your body's sleepiness meter. So of course, there's both endogenous adenosine and exogenous adenosine. So it looks like adenosine is also something you might give to somebody in a medical setting if they're having issues with their heart. So we're not going to focus on that. Let's just focus on the endogenous adenosine. So you're going through your day, your brain burns energy. As it burns that energy, it creates a byproduct, and that byproduct is adenosine. Adenosine builds up in your brain the longer you're awake, and it goes to really specific areas in your brain. And as more builds up, you feel sleepier, and it becomes more likely that you will fall asleep. Very often people, particularly people with insomnia, will find that they sleep better if they stay up a little bit later, which might sound really, really counterintuitive, but that's one of the first things I tell people if it's taken them a really long time to fall asleep is try going to bed later. Because the longer you're awake, the more adenosine is building up, and the more adenosine is building up, the better you're going to sleep. Also, caffeine blocks adenosine. That's how it works. That's how it helps you feel more alert. So specifically, caffeine basically like takes adenozine's seat on the bus so that adenosine can't sit there. So just something to know. That's why caffeine helps you feel more alert. So the next thing I want to talk about is the afternoon slump. And I want you to think of your sleep drive the way you might think of like a budget or a bank account. We all have an energy dip sometime in the afternoon. Typically, this is going to be somewhere between 7 to 9 hours after your habitual wake time. This may not be the time that you woke up on that particular day. It's the time that you tend to wake up. And so if you were to like track your sleep over a week or two, and then look at the times you wake up, average it out, that would give you a good idea of your habitual wake time. 7 to 9 hours after that, you have a little dip. So what's happening is your body temperature is dipping. So you feel less alert, you feel a little more sluggish, and then you come out of it. It can last the full 2 hours, or it can not last that long. But we all have it. It's totally normal. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. I don't know, maybe we were meant to take naps, or maybe we were meant to take a midday break. We have to figure it's in there for a reason. So like I said, you want to think of your sleep drive like a budget, or I use the analogy of a retirement account. So ideally, if you're saving for retirement, you want to start early, you want to make regular contributions, and you want to give that money time to grow. So a nap is like an early withdrawal from that account. So you have to consider, do I have it in the budget? If you have insomnia, you don't. Almost assuredly, you don't have it in the budget. You do not have enough sleep drive if you have insomnia. If you have narcolepsy, and yes, in fact, as I mentioned earlier, naps are helpful for getting through the day if you have narcolepsy. And for shift workers, again, just a short nap just before your shift, or at the beginning, if that's possible. That'll go ahead and just spend that sleep drive so that it's not hitting you during your shift. So before I get into the last thing, I just want to say, if you are enjoying this, if you're finding this useful, please give the video a like, share it with somebody that you think might benefit from it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I try to get a video out about every 2 weeks. A lot of my content is about sleep, but I also do content about my other areas of specialty, which are chronic pain and OCD, and then something called radically open dialectical behavior therapy, which isn't that well known. But if you are a perfectionist, then there's probably some stuff in there that's of interest to you. So let me just break down what's a good nap. Because there's good naps and there's bad naps. So a good nap happens only when you are sleepy. That is the only time to take a nap, is when you're sleepy and you really want to kind of start teasing out what's the difference between sleepy and tired. A good nap also happens at the same time every day. Like if you are a person who needs to take a nap every day to kind of get through the day and you're using it to mitigate sleepiness, try to do it at about the same time every day. Like our brain and our circadian rhythm is the thing that determines the timing of when we're asleep when we're awake. Our circadian rhythm loves regularity. It likes it when we do the same stuff at the same time every day. So try to take a nap. If you're gonna be a nap person, try to do it at the same time every day. A good nap is short, approximately 20 minutes. So set an alarm for 30. That way you don't go into deep sleep. And that's why we say take a short nap. So when you first fall asleep, you're in a lighter stage of sleep for a little bit, and then you drop into a little bit deeper stage of sleep. And then you drop into the deepest stage of sleep. When you wake up right out of that deepest stage of sleep, which is possible, maybe even likely if the nap goes beyond 30 minutes, you feel worse. You feel sluggish. You feel groggy. You kind of feel that. Have you ever woken up from a nap and just been like, who am I? What am I? What is life? What does anything mean? You feel worse. So set an alarm for 30. That way you don't go past it. And that way you're less likely to have that just sluggish kind of feeling after you wake up. A good nap happens within your circadian dip. So trying to time it to that 7 to 9 hour window, wherever that is for you, trying to time the nap within that frame of time if you can. And a good nap happens in your bed. You're sleeping, so be in bed. And if you have sleep apnea and you use a CPAP, be sure to wear your CPAP while you're napping. All right, so before I wrap this video up, I'm just going to drop in another little plug for my newsletter. I have a monthly newsletter that I send out that covers a lot of stuff about sleep, also my other areas of expertise. I kind of rotate across the different topics month by month. There's a link down in the description if you are interested in that. And thank you so much for anyone who does click that and subscribe. So I'm going to link here on the end screen. I'm going to link to a longer video where I go into more detail about the biology of sleep and what causes insomnia. I think that might be a useful next video to watch. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll have that linked on the end screen. And I'm also going to link on the end screen. I have a whole playlist of all the videos that I've done about sleep. So I'm going to link that as well. So let me know in the comments below, are you a nap person? I am not, except when I am sick or if I'm traveling to try to manage the jet lag. So I just can't seem to take short naps. I just could never master the waking up after 20 to 30 minutes. If I fall asleep, I'm just out for hours. So I just don't do it. I just do not take naps unless there's really extenuating circumstances. My husband, on the other hand, gets great benefit from he'll take a 20-minute nap in the afternoon and he feels better. So what's your relationship to naps? Let me know in the comments. All right, so that is everything for this video. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for sticking with it. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Bye.